So I'm of the opinion that characters are the most important part of any story. And one of the things I love the most about Chris Claremont's X-Men run is that every character has a distinct voice. This, of course, was helped by the fact that these new X-Men characters were from different countries, different nationalities, whatever, and had different speaking patterns, but also just very different personalities. Like, take Wolverine. For crying out loud, lady, how are we supposed to follow ya, huh? See, you know how it's like ya instead of you, fur, all that kind of stuff. Like, it's subtle little things, but it does a lot to really give him a distinct voice. Banshee had a very specific dialect. I was trying to find a certain panel, but he'd be like, "Oh, get down, all yous," or so, "Who the blazes are you?" And then you have Moira, who's Scottish, who would say, I beg your pardon." You know, like, he would go so far above and beyond to make sure that happened. Or Rogue, to have her southern accent, she'll say instead of, I. Or Nightcrawler will say things like "Danke, mein Freund," or "Ja" instead of "yes." And these things all go to give everyone a distinct character, and that goes for so many people. Gambit, you think of so many X-Men characters, but even outside of that, you don't even have to go that far. Just give them a distinct way of talking, a different dialect. And I haven't personally gone as far as Claremont does with giving certain dialects, but I do try. Because you want to be sure that your characters don't always blend together. And look, all writers do it from time to time, even Claremont. But you gotta try and make it where your voice shines through the characters, but it's not just you talking. And when it came to my comic book, I really wanted to give a distinct voice, especially to this one character, Estrella, who first appears in Phenomenova issue 2. Now, Estrella is Italian. Her real name is Giorgia Cecilia di Bonaventura. Now, she goes with the Greek name in part because she's embracing her roots, because Estrella was one of the goddesses that was inspiring Lady Justice, which obviously she took inspiration from. But anyway, now Estrella can absorb information from touching things, absorbing memories. She absorbs the world around her in real time, which allows her to see and hear. And so in a lot of ways, she's a prodigy and wiser than many. So I wanted her to have a very ethereal kind of way of talking, a kind of grace, a kind of wisdom and calmness. But I also was like, yeah, she's going to be speaking English, but would she have an accent? And issue 3, the trailer for issue 3 is going to have her narration. My friend Steph, who was a bit of an inspiration for the character's look, is going to be doing that. But anyway, I started realizing, well, what accent do I want her to have? And I had kind of gone back and forth. It could be Italian, it could be American English, it could be British. She speaks fluent English, but I was like, okay, well, she could have an accent if I wanted her to, or she could not. And if she speaks it, would it be with the British, like the Queen's English, or American? And I ended up having her do multiple versions, and we decided British. If you want to hear that voice recording, keep it locked here and follow me for more. And make sure to check the book out.